Hi everybody, and welcome to our lightning talk, Accruing Interest, what experiences contribute to students developing a sustained interest in computer science over time. My name is Alex Lishinski, and the purpose of this lightning talk is to tell you about the ongoing research project that my colleague Josh and I are working on. Our project is called Pixel, and it's a 2-year NSF-funded project to investigate the experiences of undergraduate CS students. The project has two main goals. First, we are trying to figure out how to measure students' experiences during a CS1 course in a meaningful way. Second, we are trying to figure out how to connect these experiences to the larger outcome of interest in CS. Our hypothesis is that the more granular experiences that students have during a course, particularly an introductory course, contribute to whether or not students remain interested in CS and continue to pursue the field. Interest seems pretty straightforward, but research in educational psychology contains several clusters of theoretical work that have attempted to define what constitutes interest. I won't go into too much detail here except to say that each of these groups of interest theory overlap with one another and differ largely in how they focus on one aspect. The framework that has guided our work the most is the emotion-focused, as we hypothesize that students' enduring individual interest can be linked to their emotional experiences during the process of learning programming. Furthermore, we assume that the stronger the magnitude of emotion that students experience, positive or negative, the greater impact on students' emerging interest in CS. To that end, a major component of our research is collecting data on students' emotional responses throughout the semester. We are also collecting data on a number of other constructs in addition to emotional responses. This data collection consists of surveys at the beginning and end of the semester. First and foremost, we are collecting data on students' interest in CS. By looking at the changes from the beginning to the end of the semester and connecting that to the profile of emotional experiences that students have, we can get an idea of how students' finer-grained experiences connect to their change in interest. We are also collecting data on other constructs like self-efficacy, belongingness, and value, because we believe that these constructs are related to interest in such a way that will allow us to control for differences between individuals in the way that they process emotional experiences into interest. To carry out our data collection, we are using the Experience Sampling Method, or ESM. ESM is a type of research where the goal is to collect data often over an extended period of time in order to get many data points. The advantage of this method is that it allows the researcher to capture volatile constructs that are subject to frequent change and variation over time and in different contexts. The method is designed to collect in situ data that is as close in time to relevant experiences as possible and to do so many times to capture variations. A common use case for this methodology is studies of people's time use, where researchers can prompt participants at random intervals to respond to a short survey about what they're doing at that moment. In education research, this can also be a very useful method to capture students' experiences at particular times, especially when the constructs being measured are volatile. There are several commonly used ways to collect ESM data, but we think that these have drawbacks. Using an ESM app creates a potential trust issue when you're asking students to put an unknown app onto their device. The app also may have usability issues that could put off users. Sending links to online survey platforms also increases the possibility of something going wrong. Overall, we think that the other ESM data collection methods are suboptimal because they add intermediate steps that make it less likely that we will get prompt and therefore topical responses. Our data collection involves sending ESM surveys to students immediately after their classes via SMS message. By contacting students directly via SMS, we hope to minimize the burden of surveying and enable us to get the highest response rates and quality of data possible. We have been running a pilot version of this data collection for the past several weeks in a CS1 class. Every week after students' lab sections and some lectures, we send them our 4-question ESM survey, asking them to rate their emotions relating to CS. So far, we have enjoyed good response rates, and the students are extremely quick and efficient at filling out their surveys as we had hoped. Most of the responses arrive within 5 minutes of sending out the prompt, and the 4-question survey with Likert scale items is completed in 20 to 25 seconds via SMS for most students. Here you can see plots of the first few weeks of data from our CS1 class. We have surveyed students 7 times, and while there's little we can glean statistically from the data yet, the data will be hopefully very informative once we have a full semester's worth of observations, and we are able to link this data to the pre- and post-survey data. We're looking forward to continuing this data collection in the fall when UTK plans to introduce a new CS1 class for non-majors, which will be a valuable opportunity for us to compare between these two populations. And we plan to take what we learned from the pilot data collection this semester and use it to refine our procedures for the fall data collection with a larger group of students. Our hope was to be able to have discussions in person with other SIGC attendees who are interested in this work, but unfortunately we were forced to cancel our trip to Portland. Nevertheless, we'd still love to hear from anyone who is able to watch this talk and who has any thoughts whatsoever about how we could be approaching this topic. Please feel free to reach out to us. Thanks for your attention, and please enjoy the rest of the lightning talks.